Okay.
Okay, so I just want to say a few things about me and my work. It's interesting that um, I have only 5 people today, but I'm internationally known for the work that I'm doing. I lecture all over the world. I'll be in Germany, and I'll give a big lecture there. And besides seeing clients, I'll be in Rome and I'll be in Israel. What I want to talk to you about is the work that I'm doing. I was born as a, let's have the lights here, as a blind kid to deaf parents. And it's very interesting. In Tel Aviv, I was known as the blind child of Ida and Abraham. And by the way, do you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm not frozen. And I was born with cataracts. This is very unusual to be born with cataracts. Any one of you knows what cataract is? Can you see his answer?
Is it a film of something that covers the cornea?
No. Anybody else?
Oh, Carol says clouding of the lens. She doesn't have audio.
Okay, clouding of the lens. That's correct. Okay. Now I'm not seeing myself in the screen. I only see Mona. How do we do that?
Okay. I'll pin you.
Pin me. Okay, good. Perfect. All right. So what I want to say is that cataract is when the lens becomes cloudy. And in my opinion, normally it's because of the use of the eyes. What happens to most people these days is that people look at near vision, especially these days with the pandemic, when people were looking at videos a lot, at Zoom a lot, look from near a lot. That's what caused the cataract to develop with many people, even in a younger age. That's true about cataract. What is also true is that most people who develop cataract develop it because the lens becomes very stiff. And after it becomes stiff, all the molecules in the lens, the protein becomes very crowded. So the light doesn't go through. Now, let me ask you a question. Do doctors cure cataracts? The answer was no, was the head, yes. Anyone wants to tell me a vocal answer? No one, I guess, okay. So I would like to say they help people with cataract. They fix the cataract problem. They remove the lens and put an implant instead these days. Used to be that they gave people cataract glasses. In some cases, they still do, but normally they put an implant. And before that, they put contact lenses. But basically, they replaced the lens. Just like if you lost your tooth because it decayed a lot, and root canals didn't help, and other things didn't help, then replacing your tooth didn't fix the problem with the tooth. Replacing your tooth simply fixed the situation, but didn't heal the problem. And what I'm seeing is that even with success, I mean, just so you know, cataract surgeries are successful. Not in my case, but in 94% of the cases, it is successful. But I found that even when the cataract surgeries are successful, what happens is people get double vision and all kinds of other problems. There's problems with colors and others. And so at the end of the day, 50% of the people who have the cataract removed successfully have problems. Those who did not have the cataract removed also have problems. Some of them become blind or nearly blind. So to just show you what my situation was, do you all see this is a normal lens? Can you all see that? Right. And this is mine after 5 surgeries. So it's really destroyed. My 2 kids were born with cataracts. And so it's so unusual to be born with cataracts. Only 1 out of 20,000 infants are being born with cataracts. And I was one of them. And my kids were 2 of them. And we were able to understand, in spite of our holistic tendencies, that we had to do the surgery. So we did it at the age of 2 and 3 weeks. And they became, they developed the visual cortex in a normal way, because at the age of 8 weeks is when you start to develop it until the age of 3 years. And if you lost parts of the development, it's a problem. That's one of my greatest clients. I'm going in Germany to work with somebody who the surgery was done late. So we're working on getting her to have better vision. I just finished with 2 major clients with vision problems. One of them had bad cataract surgery. And when they try to remove the lens of before and put another lens, they caused their major loss of vision. And I mean major. And I was able to get her to a place where she could cross the street. Another one had COVID and a stroke with COVID. And the result was that he lost about almost 100% of his vision. And as we're working, we're getting much of his vision back. A pretty good percentage, like 20% or so. And we want to do more, but we just finished the session with him today. So much of our work is to help people with what's considered to be not that possible. Can you get me my book, Vision for Life and Awakening? It's right there, yeah. So I'm the author of several books. And one of them is called Vision for Life. Vision for Life. And it talks about the steps that we can take to improve our vision. And one is called Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. You can put it near the camera, maybe. Yeah. Awakening Your Power of Self-Healing. And this is Vision for Life. So there are several steps that you have to take to see better. One of them is to make sure that whenever you look at anything, your eyes are very soft, very soft. You don't put any pressure into seeing anything. Another one is that you need to relax your eyes. And you need to relax your eyes deeply and daily. Another one is that you have to adjust to the sunlight. Now, you probably will hear from quite a few medical doctors, escape the sun, wear sunglasses. I totally oppose that. In fact, what we need to do is adapt to the sun. Another principle is paying attention to the periphery. Another one is looking at details. And the rest of them you can definitely read in my book. Now, my work isn't only on vision. I do a lot of body work. I work with people with paralysis and disability. But even when I work on people with vision problems, I use body work a lot. So I would want to demonstrate for you an exercise or two. But if anybody has a question, I'll be glad to answer. Okay. Nobody, right? Okay. So let's do an exercise called palming. First of all of you go wash your hands. And I'll do the same thing. Before we palm, when we put the hands around the eye orbits, we have to wash our hands. And after that, I'll talk about distance viewing. And maybe I'll play for you a video too. And in that, we'll consummate our lecture. And I hope to be invited again to this wonderful forum next year and have bigger audience, and we'll do 2 or 2.5 hours, be no problem. So let me wash my hands.
Oh, by the way, I just looked at the newsletter and what I sent to the newsletter. And what they put in the newsletter was not what I sent them. So it was the lady that did the newsletter. The lady that did the newsletter changed the link because what I sent them was not what they put in.
Well, I'm ready to go next year.
That's
and do
what
another one.
happened.
So don't worry.
Well,
about it.
anytime you want. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just, if I send somebody something, I expect them to just put it in as I send it, not to change it. So that was a real F up.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but
At least I have
that's not what I
five
sent
people
them.
in this meeting, right? So, so I'm going to continue and work on that. So listen, if you have a table or you have, you can put a pillow on it. I'm going to turn the lights off here. So you still see me, okay? And the thing is you do is you rub your hands, all of you rub your hands, interlace your fingers and move your arms in rotating motion in both directions. And point the hands out and move the arms in rotating motion in both directions. And rub your hands. And now I want you to see something. Take a look at my hands. They're pretty soft. And I'm putting my hands extremely softly around my eye orbits. I have what's called palming stick. I can make the palming stick higher or lower as I wish. This one takes some doing. I can make it lower and then I can make it higher, which is what I wanted to do. And I'm sitting here on it and I'm putting my hands. So all of you close your eyes, put your elbows on a pillow or on your table. You can roll a sweater or something, but you don't want to bend your head. You don't want to bring it up. So you put your hands very gently around the eye orbits and you breathe deeply and slowly. Deeply and slowly. As you cover your eye orbits. By the way, are you all doing it? Because I'm not seeing right now. I cover my orbits. Diego, are they all doing it?
We see only one camera doing it
So only one is doing it?
because there's no image on most.
Mhm. So maybe everybody is doing it, no?
Yeah, but at least we know Mary is doing it.
So focus on your breathing. You can do very slow breathing. You know,
Also
most
Patty, also Patty is doing it.
most people breathe 20 times per minute. We can breathe 5 times per minute, which is so much better. We get much more oxygen this way. So we can breathe really, really slowly through the nose, in and out. And we visualize if we're seeing darkness and even blackness, and breathe slowly and deeply. You think you're seeing pitch black, and you never put pressure on your cheekbones. You drop your shoulders, you relax your neck, and you breathe deeply. Okay, you can slowly take your hands off, blink gently. And I can show you definitely a few other exercises. Does Bree already have the sunning? Yeah? Okay. But yeah, let's show this. Anybody who wants to know more can do that. Bree, do you have the sunning exercise? Can you send it to us? Okay. So sunning is one of the best exercise we have. And again, it's against what most optometrists think, but actually adapting to the sun.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mana.
Okay.
Yeah,
What is Mona saying?
she wrote the web page because we see it and they see it backwards.
Okay.
We show it and they see it backwards.
Wonderful, Mona. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Carol had a question about whether palming the eyes is done open or closed.
They're closed gently, as if we're about to go to sleep. They're closed gently. Okay. So I'm going to show you other exercise, but I want to talk to you a little bit more. The eyes have to be soft and warm. And we have several principles here. We want to, for example, always look at the distance. All of you right now are looking either at your phone, tablet, or computer. So for a moment, I want you to look out of the window and look at the distance. Open your window if you can, wave your hands to the side so you don't miss your periphery, because the periphery responds to movement. And look at the distance. The way you do it is that you look at the sky and you look at the horizon and you look slowly closer. So I'm going to give you a minute or two to look at the distance. And pretty soon we're going to play a video on sunning and on distance viewing, I think. So let them first of all look at the distance, and then I'll tell you to play the video, okay? So you already have the video, right? Perfect. So breathe deeply and slowly. Let's give us a minute or two to look at the distance. Rest your eyes from the computer. It's one of the reasons we have our place by the beach. We're at 48th Avenue and Ocean Beach, is because we like to look at the waves. We like to look at the waves. So now I want you to see how we do sunning. Can you play?
Great.
Can I ask a question about looking in the distance?
Yes, go ahead as he prepares for the
So
sunning. Oops.
Thanks. Is looking in the distance.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me answer a question. Go ahead. What's your question?
We don't have good distance vision. In the distance, if we don't
Okay,
have
so I'm
good
talking
distance
about
vision,
looking, not trying to see. Remember, one of the principles is soft eyes. It doesn't matter if you don't see, if you can convince yourself to just look for the purpose of looking, you do something wonderful to your eyes. You flatten your lens. Let me give you an example. Look at the distance for a moment. Just look at distance outside the window. Now look at your palm. Look at the lines in your palm. Just look at your palm. And now look at the distance again. And my question is, what's easier for the eyes?
Yep, I see what you mean.
So you're working on your ciliary muscles. When you look at the distance, the lens is flat. The ligament, which is called the suspensory ligament, flattens it. The muscles don't work. But if your mind says, I have to see without my glasses what I see with my glasses, that's when we have a problem. If you say the fuzzy distance is okay with me, then we have no problem. Okay, so go ahead. Now let Bree plays Sunning for my video myopia. And I recommend all of you to look at my classes online, but also to come to the December 10th class that I teach on relaxation. So write to us, write to Bree your address so we can send you a postcard and also email you my message. I have always a message of the week with 6,000 people on my email list, and we have something like 11,000 on the mailing list. I want you to look at it and consider to come to a relaxing class with vision improvement on December 10th, between holidays, between Thanksgiving and Christmas. If you can play it.
Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Sunning is a very powerful exercise. It helps you to constrict your pupils and then they expand. So pay attention that you move your head all the way from shoulder to shoulder, never ear to shoulder, always chin to shoulder. Remember, always chin to shoulder. And even wider than I'm showing you in this picture. For example, when you move the head to the right, you can push your left shoulder slightly forwards. When you move your head to the left, you can push your right shoulder slightly forward, just to create a big movement. It doesn't have to be fast at all, but it has to be continuous. You have to see sun and darkness. While doing it, breathe slowly and breathe deeply.
Wonderful. Do you have another one? That's it.
No, I have another one. Was everyone able to hear that?
I did.
Okay.
So one more video.
Okay. Second. So,
One of our best exercises for nearsightedness is looking at a distance. Look what a wonderful view you have here of San Francisco. And you really need to look at the distance a lot. Many people are nearsighted, look at their phones or their computers, but looking at a distance and looking at different parts, we can even see the bridge from here, and we can see some mountains from here. So looking at distance is a fantastic thing. But then some people will say, but I don't see it well without my glasses. But here's what I want to tell you. Little sacrifice for now is a big, big gain for later. If you look at the distance and it's okay with you to not see it well, and you relax your eyes, which is the first principle of our work, the most important thing you can possibly do, relax them as you look at a distance without seeing well. Slowly, slowly, your eye will adjust to the distance and you will then see the distance better. And as you know, we devised these glasses and you can either make them yourself or get them from us. In these glasses, we have black paper and those are broken sunglasses, basically. And you can look now with your weaker eye at the distance. And as you look with your weaker eye at the distance, and you take your glasses off, you'd see better and better. So what exercises we should do? One is look from detail to detail at the distance. First, at the sky. Then, at the horizons where the sky meets the mountains and the earth. And then closer and closer till you get about 20 or 30 feet away from you, and then look again at the distance gradually. From time to time, close your eyes and imagine the distance. And imagine it, you see it first with both eyes, then only with your left eye, then only with your right eye. And then open your eyes and look. And then you can get obstructive lenses. This time it's over the left, but often we put it also over the right. And look at the distance again in the same way I described. First, the sky. And you look at 10 different points of the sky. Then at the horizons. And you look at 10 different points where the sky meets the earth. Then you look closer and closer and closer. And then again, you open your eyes and look with both eyes at the same distance with the same exercise. This should be done at least 30 minutes a day if you want to improve your vision. When you look at the distance, you relax your lens and you shorten the eyeball that is always becoming long looking at computers and books. Now you enjoy the distance and the eyeball is becoming shorter, the lens muscles becoming looser. And the ligament that holds the lens will stretch the lens and will make it flat, and the sense of relaxation is great. I like looking at the waves because I don't have to work so much. First, I look at the sky that each day has different color. Then I look at the horizons. Then I look at the space between the waves and the ocean. And the ocean every day has different colors. Then I look at the waves and I follow the waves very slowly on their way to shore. Then I look at part of the shore and I start all over again. I look at the waves, at the area of the ocean between the waves and the horizons, at the horizons and at the sky. It's just a wonderful practice. And the result is the eyes completely relaxed. And even those who have a short eyeball will strengthen the eyeball with this. But those who have a long eyeball are making the first step to reduce their myopia. Those who have beginning of cataracts are making now a step to prevent the cataract from expanding and strengthen their lens muscles. It's just a wonderful, wonderful exercise.
Great. You can take this off. Wonderful. Did you enjoy the videos? No response?
Yes. Oh,
Wonderful.
yes. And Carol
And-
typed yes also.
And you know, the softness of the eye is very important, and the relaxation is very important. So here's my my point. We have a few more minutes that I'm willing to spend right now. So I want to ask you, if you have questions, I'll answer them. If you don't, I'll finish with an exercise to loosen up the neck, which I think is tight with most modern people. And hopefully I'll have a much longer lecture next year. But before the two classes I want to announce, one of them, again, on December 10th, we have a class on relaxing, improving vision, improving the back, improving the joints. On February 16th, 21st, we already have registration, and it's worldwide. for a class that is on improving vision. 6-day seminar, which I think could make a huge difference. It's basically mainly half days. So you're not living far away from me. You can come here from all over the world. So it would be nice if you can come and learn our unique approach into seeing better. We're influenced by the Bates method, but we're not the Bates method. We're influenced by quite a few methods, but mainly we combine between working on the body and working on the eyes.
Is there any help with eye flow?
Yes, we definitely have in Vision for Life description of how you help eye floaters. The one thing you'd never do is the medical help where they put laser in the eye to destroy the floater. Don't do that because I've met some people who got high eye pressure and lost their vision as a result of that treatment. On the other hand, what we suggest is to look at part of the floater, and it can make a very big difference. Like you look at the floater, it disappears, you look at it again, it disappears, and you can definitely help it. Any other question?
No.
All right, so let's do another one. Move your head in rotating motion.
Okay. What is the mechanism by which exercises improve cataracts?
Well, you see, if you look at the distance, I mean, basically, most of us look too much from near, okay? So when you look at the distance, the lens becomes flat. The lens doesn't have much mobility. So because the lens becomes too round and too rigid, what happens is with time, it starts to have problems. The proteins start to be close to each other, the protein called crystalline, and the lens becomes opaque. As I'm saying, doctors remove it, and in most cases, right after that, you see better, but you weaken your eye with every surgery. I know it for a fact, because often when people have a secondary surgery, it leads to loss of vision, a major one. So my suggestion is to prevent cataract, if you don't have a cataract, look at a distance at least 20 minutes a day in intervals of 4 to 6 minutes. You think it's little time until you find that you need to have the patience to look at a distance, you wave your side, and then learn many of my exercises. The other thing that you need to know is that if you started cataract, 40 minutes at a distance is minimum, and we need to do the palming that I went with you over. I have wonderful palming meditation on this very video that you can purchase from our store, but we have other videos that can really help you relax your eyes in a deep way. Because I find it to be wonderful when we put the hands around the eyes, we pay attention to the eyes, we bring energy to the eyes by the hands, and we loosen them up. So I really recommend for you to do these exercises. So do lots of palming, lots of distance viewing. Doing the sunning is also wonderful, the one I've shown to you. Okay, what's your other question? No more. So let's do this one. Move your head. First of all, discover the stiffness of your head. Put the head here, put the head here, put the head here, put the chin here. Just have a sense of the stiffness of the head. Now, when you put the head here, tap, and then tap. Then massage here, and then move the head in rotating motion. And then massage your head. Separate between the skull and the scalp. Separate between the skull and the scalp. And breathe deeply and slowly. Now, tap on your abdomen and say center. All of you say center, 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 and move your head again in rotating motion and relax the neck. Another one is say center, 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 and tap your hands against your thighs and center thigh, center thigh, center thigh, center thigh. Stand up And do it again, center thigh, all of you, center thigh, stand up. And now see how the head feels. Does it feel any looser? If it is looser, then you've done something very good for yourself, because to a great extent, many problems with vision, with hearing, and many others occur because of the fact that we don't pay attention to our, we don't pay attention to the fact that not enough blood gets to the head. And getting more blood to the head makes a huge difference. So it was nice to see all 5 of you. And thank you to the organizer. And I'm looking forward to come next year with another lecture.